Hey everyone, this is Jan, and you're watching a little daily indie game dev with my latest update, the quest received. Monday, the 15th of June 2026. Let's get started straight away, shall we? This is a little update about tweaks I've made over the weekend. I'm just gonna hit play on a little recording and start from the beginning. There've been a bunch of minor updates, things that were just kind of bugging me that I kind of wanted to tackle. As you just saw, we have a title about where you are when the game opens. It's really just a test for that text to render correctly because it constantly wouldn't show up in game, and it had something to do with the material. This guy over here, these profile animations for the conversation you're watching, attached to the camera system, because that way wherever the player goes, there they are in the correct spot. I don't have to move things around. I don't have to ship them over and hard code anything. They're always attached to the camera, so I can always start a conversation and pull them up. Now this one has a text label above his head, also attached to the camera system. Like the old man in game has a label above his head that I can change and will through this conversation. That was one thing. Getting that to behave and then do the typewriter effect and appear when I want in the conversation that you're having took some doing, but it's working. And it's another one of those small things where I can get to communicate something simple to the player to make things very obvious. You just received the quest. It's straightforward. Took me like a whole Sunday. It's working. The other thing I did, which is, it's not a big deal, but it was just one of those minor things, is the player character has a shadow. And again, it took me a little searching how to get the shadow to have opacity that I can set. And it's a matter of the lit, I forget what it's called now, but it's one of those paper 2D lit or unlit materials that you have to put in place to get it to behave properly. On Saturday, I also added it to the NPC. Oh, quest received. You see that? That's it. Isn't it beautiful? I also added it to the NPC and to the pickup items. They all now have shadow, so they all feel a little bit more in the world. It's just a small thing. It's not important, but I really like it. I just updated the label to annoyed. These are all little tests. Ultimately, the story, the dialogue that you're watching, it's all a work in progress. Playing this over and over again, I learned two things. One, it's a work in progress. The text is going to have to be tweaked. It's going to be worked on. The story is going to change. Dialogue can be remembered. It's a big deal for me that I get to save that stuff. Oh, the bobbing balloon above his head is another thing that I did on Saturday, where now when you walk up, like, there's a little bit more animation on screen. It's another small thing, not important to building the quest as I set out on Friday, but it's working. And then lastly, this part right here, the pause menu. There's a quest button, and the quest button pulls up your current quest. I'm not quite sure if this actually gets saved correctly, because I'm not actually saving the game here. We've got the quest giver and the update label above the quest giver's head moving. I can set emotions to it. I can set it to anything really. I've closed all the holes in the dialogue branches that was actually probably the most time-consuming thing. Like there I go writing a first quest and just getting a bit carried away, creating tons of dead ends that then not crash the game, but basically freeze the game. You can't move forward. Closed all of them. The quest received by the player, I did that. I want to add another basically I want to add animations to the animated profiles, because it's just one looping. But I have a thought about a crystal ball which acts like a smartphone, if you will, for information, so that when you look up information in the dialogue system, he actually animates as if he's looking at his little crystal ball smartphone, and it lights up his face. It's just a little thing I want to put in there as a test to switch between animations correctly. And the biggest step that I'm working on now is, of course, the next part in the quest. So we received the quest, we have a bunch of conversation. I'm really excited about it being basically 3 to 4 minutes of gameplay. My first little quest up and running. the first part. Now we have to get to the second part, which is meeting the lady. I'm wondering if that's optional or like one of two solutions to get to the next part, which is all the way in the corner over there. There's another cave that you have to figure out how to get get the ability to swim and then cross the water safely to that cave and get the pickaxe for the old man, which then leads, of course, to moving to the next section. Sorry for rambling a bit. I'm excited. I got a bunch done this weekend. Let's get started on Monday. Catch you in the next one.